After more than 8 years of operation, Ring of Honor Wrestling has carved out their segment of the professional wrestling audience. Not concerned with skits and guest hosts, the typical ROH fan craves in-ring quality with talent that is constantly raising the bar and defining what it means to be a professional wrestler in an industry that has been paintbrushed as sports entertainment.
You know, the band of misfits. Yeah, some of us are too short for the WWE. Some of us are way too young for TNA. You know, some of us don't have the bodies that, Vince McMahon loves. And you know what? All these people, they don't care. You know what they want to see? They want to see hard-hitting action. They don't want their intelligence insulted. They don't want, funny games and stuff like that. They want good, hard wrestling.
Christopher Daniels wrestled in the main event of the very first Ring of Honor card in February of 2002. After spending 6 years working for TNA Wrestling, the Fallen Angel returned to Ring of Honor this past April, adding a veteran presence for the young talent to absorb knowledge through.
I feel like I'm a guest in the locker room at this point. I mean, I feel like I've got to earn my role in the locker room as that. So I wouldn't say that I'm a locker room leader yet, but I mean, I certainly feel like being a guy who's been in as long as I have, these guys look up to me.
You look at Christopher Daniels, one of the greatest wrestlers, of our generation, and also one of the most underrated. He went to TNA and they still found a way to drop the ball with him. This guy, him and AJ Styles should have been main event and pay-per-views for the World Championship for years to come.
Another key addition to the ROH staff occurred last September when legendary manager Jim Cornette entered the company.
I think if anybody in the wrestling business would have to pick one person who they would want on their team, one of the top people, no doubt, is Jim Cornette. You can't argue with a man with 30 years experience on every level of the business, as a performer, as a promoter, as a behind-the-scenes guy, a manager, and a brilliant mind.
Yeah, I mean, Jim Cornette helped shape the direction of me. I've kind of been doing the same thing in WWE and TNA for the last few years. And when I came to the Ring of Honor, I assumed we're going to do more of the same. And Cornette was the one that laid out the foundation. He said, we want you to be you. We don't want you to be the character you've been playing on TV for the last few years. And he explained to me, this is the way this character is going to go. This is the direction, the shape it's going to be. And more or less, we want to strip away everything that's been given to you and just go back to the basics of you as a human being and present that to our audience.
He's there to help Adam. He's there to help Tyler, Davey, Steve, Kevin Steen, Generico. He's there to help all of us, and it just makes us better wrestlers, and the better we can become, the better the product is.
With fans complaining about the same talent on top in other organizations, Ring of Honor has taken the credo of making new stars to heart, as exemplified in the ROH heavyweight gold being put on the 24-year-old Tyler Black this past February, who feels the company has taken a positive step forward with the additions of Daniels and Cornette.
Yeah, well, literally they've added about a half century of experience. Jim's been doing this longer than I've been alive, and Christopher Daniels is a veteran, someone who I looked up to when I was 16, 17 years old, about to break into the wrestling business. So having those two influential people in the locker room has meant a lot for the development of me, especially psychologically as a performer, and it just gives us a leadership that we were kind of lacking after Bryan Danielson left and Nigel McGuinness left. Now we have guys who are kind of have a good vision about where they want things to go, and it's exciting. It's an exciting time for us as a company.
As Ring of Honor approaches its 9th anniversary next year, the road they have paved is one filled with pride and a showcase of talent that has graduated to become some of the top talent in the world. The company continues moving forward, seeking out the next stars to cultivate and putting forth a product that is proudly labeled professional wrestling.
The one thing that hasn't changed about Ring of Honor is that these guys are all very hungry. They're all looking to up the spotlight, their presence in professional wrestling, and they're doing it by doing what they do best, which is getting in the ring and wrestling. And I mean, I really appreciate that. I feel like my strongest suit in my game has always been my in-ring product. And I mean, to come to a place where the in-ring product is the first and foremost, like Ring of Honor, I mean, it means a lot to me to be able to come here and compete with these guys. And I'm just glad that Ring of Honor is doing well. I've always looked at it as sort of a home, and I'm always happy when my friends are succeeding and doing well, and I'm glad to see that this company is doing as well as it is with the talent they have.